Hi, I'm Dorothy Odell, the host of Unstoppable Overcomers and the Power Half Hour shows to start your week out powerfully and give you over the way home. Like I said, I am the owner of Unstoppable Overcomers Productions, and we have the opportunity to help you your business. Right now, we have a special goal, a full year of advertising on our shows. So what that gets you is each show, your logo and your business information will be on social media pages. That also gives you access to a guest on either of our shows, as well as fundamental. You always have a on the fundamental session. Again, it's first come, first serve. So big fundamentals, as well as your logo is going to go on our website within the sponsor section where it says, these businesses have this show, as well as when we go to events, and we have an event coming up in February with the Old Legends. Your name, when we do the shows down there, is also going to be told as well, shared with the world as we're unfolding that week. So, and we'll also be in an environment where we'll be able to speak to legends, speak to people of influence, and we fully intend those people to know who helped us get there. So if this interests you, please message me right away. I can be found on all social medias as Dorothy Graham Odell, or my email address is Graham Dorothy, so DHAMDORO 408 at gmail.com. So definitely message me right away, and we can help grow. If you'd like more information on our other packages, again, feel free to message me. And really looking forward to getting you in front of 1,000 people and growing. And like I said, we are in the process of being on another network. So with that,
Hello, welcome everybody to a second chance. My name is Philip Jones, kidney transplant recipient, and one half of your host here on a second chance.
And hi, everybody. My name is Tafaro Cook, two-time kidney transplant recipient and founder of Kidney Care Coaches, where we coach people with stage 3 to stage 5 kidney disease. If you or you know someone who has kidney disease challenges and needs coaching, hit us up at kidneycarecoaches.com.
Awesome, awesome. Well, today we have we have the Kidney Solutions crew here with us. Kent Bressler, Uncle Jim Myers, and Jonathan Traylor. It's a pleasure for you gentlemen to be with us this evening. How are you all doing today?
Doing well.
Good.
Great.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we'll start off with each of you kind of just to give a little snippets of your story, and then we'll jump in to the kidney solution questions from there. Jonathan, you go ahead and start us off.
Hello, I'm Jonathan Traylor. I'm a 2-year kidney transplant recipient. I'm also host and founder of Hope with Jonathan podcast. You can find out more information at hopewithjonathan.com. Also, I am a volunteer with Kidney Solutions. I'm the social media director or manager, if you will. And all the posts that you're seeing that for kidney patients who are searching for a kidney donor are designed by me, and most of the posts are designed by me, and I really enjoy volunteering with Kidney Solutions to help them out to try to push other kidney patients who are in need of a donor. I really enjoyed doing that for Kidney Solutions, and Kidney Solutions was a huge part of my kidney story, and I really appreciate what Kent does. The main selling point of Kidney Solutions is that we offer all of our services completely free. And so I believe that's a huge impactful statement when you're talking about kidney care and people who are experiencing kidney failure, kidney disease, dialysis, kidney transplant. So we offer a lot of different services. We'll be able to expand on that later, but I really appreciate what Kidney Solutions has done for me, and I'm going to pass it over to Jim.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jim Myers. I'm from Indiana. I'm a 40-year plus polycystic kidney disease patient. I've lost 5 members of my family to PKD, including my dad. I was fortunate enough to have a transplant in April of 2016. One of the groups that I work with and I advocate for is Kidney Solutions. When Ken started Kidney Solutions, he invited me on board. We do all sorts of things to help kidney patients get transplants. We do that at no cost, as Jonathan mentioned. I do live broadcasts and interviews with many of the Kidney Solutions patients, including last week's interview on Friday and the interview coming up this Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Times on what I call Kidney Stories 2. We do things like we send out flyers, we give advice. Between myself and Kent and our friend Armand Halter, there's over 100 years of kidney experience with Kidney Solutions. So you have questions, you have issues, you need to be represented, you need help finding a donor, don't hesitate to contact us. We have support groups on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays. So lots of times when you can talk to us and get advice, that sort of thing. And I'm going to pass it over to my best friend and the founder of Kidney Solutions, the great Kent Bressler, is with us today.
Jim here too much. Thank you for having me on here tonight and our time it is where you are. My name is Kent Bressler. I'm a retired RN with 40 years of experience. Founder, although the last one standing of Kidney Solutions, which started in. I'm also a kidney transplant myself. I had 35 years ago, and he's doing well. I'm doing well, although then he is. Trust me, he reminds me of what kidney is. It's his, not mine. I just wanted to share with you the fact services are complete. We're not donor searchers. We're not donor hunters. Main focus of Kidney Solutions is to be a mentoring service out there in the kidney world. We'll help you find a donor, but as we know, God usually sends those to you anyhow, and we're just a part of that process. When you have your transplant, either virtually or in person, but the biggest of Kidney Solutions is being able to work with you after you've had keep you with a solid organ transplant, and hope that the longevity will benefit you in the long run. Also have a wonderful wife. This whole entire process, Catherine and I have been married for 52 years. I just want to give a shout out at this point in time to my brother Kip, Nebraska. I want to thank you very much for your undying love and your ability. Your it's working and it's yours. I realize that. Thank you so much.
Awesome, gentlemen, for that. So I'll start out the questions with this question is for everyone. You might get an individual question, just gotta be ready to go with it. So my first question is really Ryan and Uncle Jim. How did you see yourself connecting? Or how did you find yourself connecting with Kit and Kidney Solutions?
You want me to go first, Jim?
Yeah, go ahead, John.
Well, it's a true story. So I crashed into dialysis without, any education. And so after I left the hospital and, began to go to in-center dialysis treatments, DaVita, not too long after that, my wife unexpectedly needed to have her gallbladder taken out. So we're at the hospital, and a nurse there said that we had heard about your situation of needing a kidney, and she handed my wife a business card right before she went back for surgery at Peterson Hospital here in Kerrville. And I was handed that business card, and at first I was, a little skeptical at first because I didn't know what to expect, but needless to say, I made a phone call the next day and talked with Kent. I actually met him at a local Denny's here in town. And true story, I told my wife before I left, I said, you know what? I really don't know what to expect from this guy. So if I don't call you within about 30 minutes, go ahead and call the sheriff or the law and let them know that there's something going on, because I wasn't sure what to expect. Once I met Kent, I realized that, I was in really good hands. And, Kent told me the whole deal with Kidney Solutions, what the services offered and what he wanted to do for me and help me out. And he told me a little bit about his story. And, as you can imagine, I was an eyes wide open patient at that time that I didn't, I was like a deer in headlights, like literally like with kidney disease, because I had no education on it. And I was in a real predicament. I mean, I was starting hemodialysis in center. I had no clue what was going on. I just experienced a really traumatic health event, with near-death experience with kidney failure. So when Kent came along and said, hey, I want to help you out and I want to provide this service for you for free, it was huge and very impactful for me at the time. And so from there, really, the rest is history. I mean, once Kent welcomed me into the Kidney Solutions family, and it is much like a family, and you'll find that out. If you ever come to a support group or, hang out with us, just for a while, it's like a family. Once you join us, I mean, you're a part of us. And, that's the way it's been. And I've just rode the wave with Kent Bressler. And he just continues to, feed me with great mentorship and leadership. And it's just been a total godsend for me. And that's pretty much my story with Kidney Solutions in a nutshell.
Thanks, Jonathan.
You're welcome.
Uncle Jim, you're up.
Okay. The way I got connected with Kidney Solution is Brother Kent gave me a call shortly after he retired from nursing in the VA and said, I'm going to start a group called Kidney Solutions, and I want you to be a part of it. And we're not going to charge people, and we're going to try and help people find kidney transplants and answer their questions. And I want you on board to help out and to come to our meetings and be sure to speak up. And let's try to make this the best kidney group on the internet. And I knew my buddy Kent from the National Kidney Foundation, and working with him on the kidney advocacy committee and doing summit days, advocacy days, where we would go and meet with our members of Congress to discuss kidney issues. And the whole thing appealed to me. So I told him, I said, yeah, buddy, I'm in. Can't wait. And my experience with it has been nothing but positive. He makes sure that everybody in our support group gets an opportunity to speak, that they get to ask all their questions. He stays late to work with these people. He takes phone calls from these folks. I know because I'm one of the guys that calls them. And there's a lot of work on email. So I'm real proud to work with my kidney brother Kent Bressler. I'm not an artist like John. John does all our graphics and artwork. He does a beautiful job. But as you guys know, my forte is social media. I run about 100 groups now on Facebook and any other platform that you can think of. I'm on, and so I try to get the word out about Kidney Solutions and the patients that we're working with, and to try and get people to respond, share, maybe even go in and test every once in a while, to contact Kent or Shannon, and to try and help out as much as we possibly can. So that's where we're at. We basically don't charge people, and the only interest that we have is in trying to make your life a little better as a kidney patient. And I'll pass it on over to Mr. Kent.
Thanks, Jim. I don't know. I'm not going to get emotional about this. I'm just going to tell you about as close as you can get. It's just as much as Shannon is, Shannon Mulry, donor coordinator, and then my podcasting buddy, Jason Nunez. I just want to the focus of Kidney Solutions, if you will. And it's the entire mission of Kidney Solutions is to help guide a person who patients and their families to search out for a living order to preempt dialysis. In other words, straight from my heart at first. That's our main goal, transplant first. All right. And in this particular environment that we're living in, that's been quite a struggle because they're few and far between, hard to find. And so once you have, it's a joy to be able to provide them the information they need to be comfortable in their whole journey. If they are not accepted, we're there so very much for, their undying effort to bring somebody to true life. We do not turn anybody away at Kidney Solutions. If we get a call and they're struggling at some stage, whether it be any stage of kidney disease, come on. And it is a very difficult. We have several patients. I'll just say that in numbers, but the individuals that come to us will get our undying attention, exposure, and again, I say that it's a continuum of care. Kidney Solutions. We work through the whole process. We'll help a little, and we don't guarantee it, but we will work our hardest to do that. It's very instrumental, and so is Jim, just in getting the word out. If you can't ask people your story, right, they're not going to know you have kidney disease. They don't know, they can't pray for you, number one. But number two, they're not going to consider donating or tell somebody else about your situation. And time with patients off mic, so to speak, we do not offer any medical advice. That's not our role. To be there as a mentor and to assist the transplant team programs. We follow their commands. We're not affiliated with. If you get a transplant, the gospel comes program. We're just an add-on or an ad hoc, and we're very, very happy to do that. So I think that's kind of gives you a summing up of what we do at Kidneys. With myself, I have done over 100 podcasts and stories, and also we run. I might run 3 groups a week, and some of them are struggling. That I think is just has a superb following, and it's people coming in every week. So I think, in a nutshell, is Kidney Solutions.
Wonderful.
Hey guys,
stories.
is it okay if I tell my favorite Kidney Solutions story?
Yes.
All right. I'm flying into Texas to meet with my buddy Kent. We're going to do a little socializing in Kerrville, and we're working on a project together. I get off the plane, and Kent grabs me by the arm and says, "Come on, we're going to the hospital." And I think, "We're going to the hospital? You sick?" So we go to the hospital. It turns out that we're going to see Jason Nunez, who's a diabetic and amputee and a big influence in Kidney Solutions. And the day before I arrived there, he had his kidney transplant, and Kidney Solutions helped him with that. And his mom and dad are there. His wife are there. It's the first time in my life that I ever made a friend request to Jason and his wife, and then I'm meeting them in the afternoon, right? Not realizing that I'm going to see them, but that's just the kind of dedication that man has for the people he works with. Don't think that just we get people up to the point where they get their kidney and then we abandon them. That's not true. Okay, I want to say that again. That is not true. I mean, Kent continues to work with people long after they're transplanted, anytime after they're transplanted. And that visit was a real eye-opener to me of his incredible dedication to his patients and his friends. So that's my favorite kidney solution story.
That's a good story, because this guy's really doing well. You know, that's, and he helps us here at Kidney Solutions, engineer for our podcasts.
Does a great job too.
And you know, we talk about the people in. We're missing one valuable person here today, and that's Shannon Mulroy, and she is our living donor coordinator. She gave a kidney to a person of unknown. They didn't know her. Erected transplant donation, and she runs a program on the donor side. And I can't say enough about her. That y'all can call her up and bring her on. That would be a great.
Yeah, Shannon and her husband made donations to complete strangers. Her daughter is the one that has kidney issues, FSGS, Kent, and
same
disease. In exchange for getting on the voucher program, so that in the future, if Julia, that's her child's name, she's a college student now. In the future, if Julia should need transplants in the future, the voucher's waiting there for her, so she'll be up at the top of the list if she needs help. And this is all because of the selfless acts of her parents. So what better person could be in charge of kidney donors than Shannon Mulroy for Kidney Solutions? What a terrific example she sets. And that's a cool kidney story too, by the way.
A very cool kidney story. I think about all the people that we've worked with, and what scares me the most and keeps me up at night is that we can't, a lot of these patients, donors quickly. It's a travesty. We have to promote preemptive transplant. But number two, we time talking to potential donors. We aren't in the area working with different organizations to bring to light the fact and that by donating a kidney, it's the old axiom, the gift of life. Well, it's more than a gift of life. It's a re-ownership is fail-safe. Once you're transplanted, you're on a path, and then you turn around and you help others. So this whole concept of education is wholly important only because you got transplanted and only because you want others. That's in our hearts, all three of us, and in Shannon's. And everybody that really works in some shape or fashion has had some type of kidney connection. Grateful to have them.
Yeah, guys, you want to hear a story about perseverance? Check out the broadcast I did last week with Karen Edwards, Kidney Solutions member, who had I believe it was a lung transplant in 2014. Liver transplant.
She had a liver
Bad
transplant.
Uncle Jim. He knew Uncle Jim in the morning. And, as a result of issues that came up with that, she's had problems with her kidney, and she's still struggling her way through it. Even been medically induced into a coma at one point in time. So tremendous stories like that. Our guy Greg Matthews, who's coming up this Friday, is an elderly gentleman. He's looking for a kidney. He's the one that had the lung transplant. I get confused, Mr. Kern.
Yeah, that's right.
And the immunosuppressant medications that he was taking for his lung transplant, and in case you guys don't know, they don't transplant your lungs until you're like half dead. Okay? I mean, you have to be really sick to get a lung transplant. And the immunosuppressant drugs that he's taken have walloped his kidneys. So now he needs a kidney transplant. These are the kind of people that Kidney Solutions works with. And, just so you understand, we don't just accept the easy ones. Okay? We take the tough ones too. All right? And we work with, like Kent said, we work with anybody. So that's something I'm very proud of. But check us out on Friday night, man. It's going to be great.
Awesome, man. That's wonderful. You guys are doing such amazing work in the kidney community. That's phenomenal. Kent, I wanted to ask you, was you a RN before you got your transplant? I wanted to hear a little bit of your story before and after your transplant and things, and how you became an RN.
I was drafted in 1970. Like just the early January of 70. And on my kidney for the Army, I heard the medic in the back says, Bressler kid's got protein in his urine. Now, I wasn't an RN, but anyway, I asked him, I said, what's that mean? And he said, does that mean I'm done? I'm going to go home. He said, no, we're going to take. Anyway, long story short, I went ahead and went in through the Army. I got sick in the Army. Wasn't diagnosed until I was completely out and in working as an RN. I went through school and had the disease process going on, which is focal glomerular sclerosis is essentially what it is. Protein, which most kidney patients do, they throw protein. That's an early sign of. And as I progressed through my nursing career, I finally went to work in the San Antonio area, and then came to Kerrville and was in the VA crisis. And blood pressure was 200 over 110. That was treated in Kerrville, and then I was fortunate, blessed, referred to a fella in San Antonio. His name was Dr. Periak Mulgrew, really a renowned kidney specialist and immunosuppressive. He biopsied me and found out that I did have this FSGS. He told me at that point in time, you're going to need a transplant. Okay, never. So you're going to need a transplant. You need to get your brothers. I know you have two brothers, but I want you to come out when you get out, and we're going to get in the office. And he literally called both of my brothers and told them what was going on. One of them gave me a 7. So that started this whole process. It brings back some very fond memories of how hard it is for a kidney patient to get proper care. Because I lived for 10 years knowing I had protein in my urine, knowing I had kidney disease, really addressed it. And I didn't even pressure it. I did that I had a kidney problem, but it was like, okay, well, let's just wait and see how it works out. Use that word anymore. Waiting is like it's disastrous. Dr. Mulgrew pressed the issue once he got a hold of me, and I only had 2, but my creatinine was 17. Normal creatinine upper limit, but my creatinine was 17 when I went to surgery. So I had died via central line on a Tuesday and a Thursday, and my 18 after the second time. So I was transplanted that Friday. My brother came in. It's appalling to me that we have to add. Now that's almost 40 years now that we're talking, and
that's wonderful.
Nothing's
right there.
really changed. It changed though in how we deliver the care to patients, and the there's a problem with. There's just a really big problem with and waiting. I mean, there's no. It's not aggressive. The care is not aggressive, and it needs to be dispersed throughout the country. I mean, there are people that like Jonathan crashing into dialysis. Shouldn't happen.
Right.
And we can. And that's been my focus. I hope I answered your question.
No, I'm just saying that's wonderful. You've had your kidney that long, and that inspired you to create Kidney Solutions. Am I correct?
Oh yes, yes. Kidney Solutions was quite an afterthought. They tell you when you retire, you better have something to do, or your wife will kill you. And so, to be my hobby. Only it's a full-time hobby. This is all I do, and Jonathan and Jim will tell you that I give full. I spend my time every day doing something in the kidney world. I work with the DOD. I do peer review. I do a lot of things are outside of Kidney Solutions, but they benefit Kidney Solutions because I get we get Kidney Solutions name out there. We literally will help everybody. We have, as an example, had a fellow in Los Angeles that called and he said, "Do you think I should get out of California and somewhere else and sign up to get a kidney? You get on the list." And he said, "Do you have any suggestions?" I said, "Yeah, I have a great friend in Vegas who's a transplant patient and works heavily in kidney transplant call." Long story short, he went on home, and the next day or two, he called her. She set him up at the hospital, and he believed I hope I don't get caught lying here. After he signed up there, 4 months after he got there, he had a deceased donor. Connected, we have a lot of connections with people in the kidney world, and been really, really helpful to a lot of people, and that's what we want to do.
It's awesome. Phil, go ahead, go to a commercial.
I will be right back after this commercial, and tomorrow I'll pick back up with his questions. Welcome back to a second chance, Mr. Cook. So you, sir.
So, Jim, I wanted to ask you a question. So, can you give us a little brief and go in a little detail about kidney stories and tell us how you created that those stories, how you created that segment with Kidney Solution?
Sure. Initially, Kidney Stories was about sharing other people's kidney stories on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And I didn't want to use my own name, and I didn't want to be a corporation or a not-for-profit group, but I wanted something that conveyed the fact that it's a good idea to share people's kidney stories. So I created a page on Facebook that was very successful, Kidney Stories. In fact, it got to be so successful. I had over 5,000 members, and they told me I was going to have to create another page. So that's why there's a Kidney Stories 2 now. And one of the things that I do now, in addition to sharing people's kidney stories on social media, is I do live broadcasts with a competition for Restream. I won't say the name on this broadcast because I don't want to get into trouble again. And I do those broadcasts. I try to pick people that have serious to contribute, that are experts in their fields. I'm not adverse to asking doctors from the Mayo Clinic or guys that have, or ladies that have particular expertise. I try to bring on people that hold positions, for example, like in the National Kidney Foundation. I recently interviewed their new incoming president. I've interviewed most of the officers with the AAKP, the Chronic Disease Coalition, the American Kidney Fund. I try to bring people on that are a little bit different and that haven't been exposed so much. And my broadcasts are strictly educational. I don't accept money from the outside. I don't ask for money for my broadcasts. I put up all the dough for that myself, and I'm not a rich guy. I'm a poor guy these days. The reason I do that is I want to remain completely independent. In other words, I want to bring on the people that share interests. I want to bring on people that you can count on when you watch one of my broadcasts, that they're going to have something to say, and neither one of us are going to be manipulated around by a particular group or a corporation or an organization. And I really love doing that because I'm frequently surprised at the response that I get. When I had Karen on last week, for example, Karen's been struggling with chronic disease, gosh, since 2011, and continues to do so. I have more comments, more live comments on that broadcast than I've ever had before. 50, 60 comments in a 1 hour talk. I've had doctors on from the Mayo Clinic where I've reached as many as 3,000 people one talk. And I really love doing it. I think it's a very effective way to advocate, and the goal is to raise awareness and to entertain a little bit, but above and beyond everything else, to educate. And with the theme of today's talk, many, many, many good folks that are seeking or are experts like Dr. Heher. He mentioned his contact in Las Vegas, Dr. Heher, who stresses preemptive kidney transplants. Doctors that have to do with my disease, polycystic kidney disease, for example. These are guys that I have been recommended to by Kent and by Kidney Solutions. And those broadcasts are absolutely magnificent. And the way I prepare my broadcasts, as you guys know, I'm an old trial lawyer. I used to represent people that were injured in accidents. And I prepare my guests for broadcast the same way I used to prepare my clients if they were going to go to a deposition or if I were going to put them on a stand during a trial. And I really try to dialogue with them and get them ready so they know everything I'm going to say. They know all the questions I'm going to ask. I try to ask open-ended questions to give them an opportunity to talk. Nobody wants to hear me talk. You know, they've heard me talk before. Okay, like on your program today. I want my guest to be the center of attention. I have to bite my tongue sometimes because they say things that are interesting or things that I'm interested in, but I try to put the focus on my guest. Okay, and I enjoy doing that. It's the way I was trained. It's based on the experiences that I've had. Everything that has happened in my life, from finding out that I had polycystic kidney disease to being really sick, to had to give up my law practice. I lost my wife. I lost my house. All of these things that happened to me, the way I look at it is they happened to me for a reason. And they happened to me because somebody wanted me to be a kidney advocate. Somebody wanted to push me in that direction. And these broadcasts that I do are the culmination of all of my educational experience and my background and what little talent, if any, I have. And I just enjoy doing it. That's why I do it, Rafiro.
Awesome. That's amazing, Uncle Jim. That's amazing. Jonathan, you've been sitting over there chilling the most, man. Being calm and cool and collected like you always are. I'm phased about pretty much everything. But let me ask you, Jonathan, was you excited to start, being a social media host for Kidney Solutions? And tell us some of the things you do for them.
Well, I kind of fell into the role in a way. I just began to create content and posters and I started running them by Kent. And, he seemed to like some of the creations and things like that. So it just kind of evolved into a role for myself. In the volunteer role. Yeah, I mean, it's exciting to do it because I remember when I was searching for a kidney, and again, we're not about just we're not chasers, but we want to put your story out there, and we think by sharing it across our platforms on social media, that gives you an opportunity to get your face seen and your story, seen, and social media is a great tool and can be utilized for this. So it is exciting, and it's a great way to get your story out there. We also put you on our website, which is Access Global. So I mean, you're on our website, and then again, we send out flyers, and we want you to get into your local community, and we can talk with you about that and kind of mentor you on how to get into your community and go to like your local coffee shop or church or anywhere with a community board that will allow you, a restaurant, laundromat, just different places that you can hang those flyers in your local community. And that's also a great tool as well, not just with social media, those are great ways of getting your story out there. And believe it or not, I'm a witness of that. I mean, Kent had I don't know, numerous calls from my flyers in the local community that people wanted to test and wanted to be my potential donor. And so those flyers are also a huge impact as well. But social media is a great tool. And I just kind of fell into it. Ken enjoyed what I was doing, and then now we're kind of into a system where we're trying to throw up a patient at least once a day, and then of course we throw up posts about our support groups and what we're all about. And so it's a very enjoyable role for me to be involved on this in this type of level, and it's really great because I believe in kidney solutions because I was once a patient. So that they assisted and helped. And so it's a great place for me to be to help others and give back in that way.
That's awesome, man. That's wonderful right there. Kent, this is my last question, but Kent, what do your you said you have sorry, you just said the word. I'm coming up with a little brain fog. So sorry about that.
Podcast.
No, not podcast, but you said your
Support group.
support groups. Yeah, thank you. Your support groups. Can you go in depth about the support groups? Because you said you guys, you don't chase donors, which I understand, and you put them out on the information. So tell us about the support groups, if you will.
Well, I think it's pretty straight. When you get the diagnosis of kidney disease, that journey, for me, it was difficult. If I'm on my side, it would have been very, very, very difficult. And it's very difficult for people. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about giving a body part.
Yeah.
It's also for the family and the patient to understand that it's okay to do. And so these support groups kind of grew out of that. It started pretty slow, but it are transplant patients who've been through now mentoring other patients who are coming in to the family with them, giving them their tips and helping them it's like expand mentoring, not advocating. We're talking mentoring here, getting down one-on-one with them to be you be able to meet them where they need to be if they have difficulties. And so those support groups were they're great to have. I think it's a pretty good group. The larger the group that manipulate and train, but the key is we've got speakers come, transplant surgeons from Iowa come in and speak to us. We've had Boston. We've had dietitians. Every facet of kidney disease to find someone to come in and talk. All right. But when they see it gets passed along via Facebook or whatever, they be on our website, they can sign up to be in that support group and our Tuesday night groups. Our Tuesday night, we're working with a hospital in El Paso, which is an extremely underserved area. We're working with the hospital out there, and it's a different situation, but our Thursday night is the old original group, and it has all transplant. It has liver, lung patients who have had lung, liver, pancreas, and so I think the main focus to answer your question is, again, mentoring. Allow these people to get their questions answered.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Wonderful. Go ahead, Phil.
No, I have to agree with Kent 100%. The support groups are a magnificent thing, and I particularly enjoy Monday night because that's about my disease. kidney disease. And I love talking to my fellow kidney patients and hearing their stories and learning about their issues and trying to address issues. And something comes up we don't know. There's enough of us. We go look it up. We make sure that we give people as close to a correct answer as we possibly can. And with Mr. Kent, we have an actual nurse that is in the group, so a lot of those kind of issues he can address. I'm an old lawyer. A lot of the legal issues I can address. Our friend Armand Halter is an engineer. Those kind of issues he can address. Our good friend Jonathan is software and internet and in general computer expert. And when he's there, he's very good at answering those kinds of questions. So there's a wide variety of things that we can address and talk about and do a reasonably good job.
And we've had some people, we've really been transplanted, who've come in and served well with us. It just seems we get to rolling with this whole thing. Everybody starts and helping out, and it really becomes more of a job. It's not a job. It's really it's a joyful thing to help some crisis. And we've had some pretty bad crises, but I think the most important part of it is the fact, like the three of us, I mean, we were always spreading stuff around. Like I said, we have other people within they're just fantastic. And the whole kidney community is extremely blessed to have people that are willing to come forward, like you guys, out, right? And that awesome. The most important thing is that you get to know the disease, and once you know that there's people out there that have the same thing you have, set to making it better for yourself and for your family. And that's what
Awesome. So I have two questions. So if you can, very quickly answer these last two questions. So my first question is, what is the number one you're looking to evolve within Kidney Solutions in 23?
I think the most important thing for Jonathan and I discussed this. I don't think that we're getting enough focus on the donor side. Kidney failure or approaching kidney failure, it's easy to help those folks to do that. But we have to some way facilitate in the country some way of getting more people to do living donation. But it's also difficult to get the word out. And I think that we're going to concentrate on for next year and forever on finding those people that are willing to step up and give a kidney. We're going to do it, but we're going to get it done. And we'll probably be calling on you to help us. No competition in this kidney business. If you're competing with somebody else for wanting, I think you're in the wrong business. What we think is that, and once that patient is served and the family served, there'll be a better everyone in the kidney community. We don't treat numbers, we don't treat dollars, and that we give them all the help that we can possibly do, and source we can get. So in 2003, I think we're going to really get busy doing donor stuff. How can we get someone to donate? How can we get the word out to donate? How can we stay with them after they've had given a kidney up? A lot, and there are things that can happen, but if they handled, if you are communicating with them. So yeah, that's the answer. 2003, and then the guys may have some other ideas too.
Mr. Traylor, what about you, sir?
Just to reiterate what Ken's saying, I mean, we're just trying to push, living kidney donation. I mean, we have a great resource now in Shannon. I mean, what better resource than an actual living kidney donor? So she can answer any questions. If you're interested at all about becoming a living kidney donor, we can definitely revert you over to her, and she can tell you all the ins and outs and what's going to happen, what to expect, things like that. I mean, it's a great resource for us to have. So again, we're going to be pushing more and more for living, kidney donation, and this needs to become the narrative across the board for everyone. Is we need to be talking more about organ donation, and it is safe for you to donate a kidney, and the statistics show that you have great great statistics that actually show that you can live a life with one kidney, successfully if you want to donate. Not saying that people haven't had complications or things haven't happened, but statistics do show that you can be okay and live life with one kidney. And like I said, we have resources for that. So definitely communicate with us, contact us if you're out there. You're on the fence. Maybe you're trying to decide whether you want to be a living kidney donor. Like I said, reach out to us. We have a resource. You can definitely talk with her. And like I said, her husband just donated as well. So we have great resources, and you can communicate with them and get your questions answered.
Yeah, it's I'm glad you brought up Shannon. I wanted Shannon on the show with us, but it's, like I said, and she works on Wednesday, so definitely understandable.
Absolutely.
We'll
Absolutely.
definitely have her on for sure to get
Be
her
great.
story and her husband's story.
Wonderful.
Yeah. You guys will
Also,
like
Yeah,
her.
circle back.
She's got a great personality, real
I've
bubbly.
grown
So
just to like her just in general, from being joining you guys in your support groups and stuff like that. So definitely tell point of Kitty Solutions and being assistance with Kent and you two gentlemen also. You sir.
My personal goals for my broadcast or for Kidney Solutions?
If you can make it quick, both of them, but Kidney
Okay,
Solutions, kind
I'll
of in
make it real
general.
quick. For myself, for my broadcast, I recently did a broadcast with a young woman that had heart issues and ended up having a heart transplant. And I wasn't sure how my kidney friends were going to respond to that, because most of the groups what I post to are kidney related groups. I got an overwhelmingly great response. So I think in 2023, for myself and my own broadcast, I want to expand a little bit and maybe talk about some other types of organ donations. For Kidney Solutions, I agree with Kent that the more time trying to raise awareness and educate potential donors, the more better. And that's really where I think that our future this year lies. And I'm very pleased to hear him say that today on the broadcast.
When we first started this, when we first met in our support groups, we always said this support group is for everyone. The most important thing is if you don't think you need support, why don't you come on at least so that your tidbits, your key points, because it's not about somebody else. Anybody who's been transplanted, anybody who's searching 1 or 2 transplants and now can't be transplanted again, everybody has a place and they just add to a support group by being there. But if you don't show up, you don't story. Everybody suffers, including yourself. We're big into that, but we're also now really big on trying to build. If you guys could help us, we would appreciate it.
Oh yeah, most definitely. You already know you have my assistance.
Definitely have yes, you have kidney care coaches support for sure.
I'd really like I'd really like to line up with someone that said it's not competition. It's actually
not at all. No competition. Our goal is
better.
Yeah, right. Our goal is to help everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have, I say, kidney working now with several people in California, several people in New York. We started out a little town of 20,000 people facilitates this whole thing. And somebody said, you're in a big market. Well, the market is where the people come from. All right, back.
Right.
We know, and we you know, if you're advocating, we want you to come in and we want to help you on your side because you're going to help us in the long run.
Hey, Phil, if I might interject just real quickly, add this to the end of the podcast here. So later on this year in 23, and we've been working on this for a while, but we're going to be having a walk. So we're going to be raising funds for Kidney Solutions with this walk. And those of you out there, we're also going to have the opportunity for you to, interact with us virtually on that walk as well. So we'll give out more details on this later on. We're going to be really pushing it, though. Coming up and really talking about it more. You'll see it across our social media really soon. But we're going to be having a walk this year. So that's another thing that we're going to be doing in 23. So we're really looking forward to this walk, not only virtually for people, but locally in our community here in the town of Kerrville, Texas. We're about an hour of San Antonio. Our town needs to know that we're a presence here. And if anybody is out there in our local community that needs help with kidney care and things of that nature, kidney failure, dialysis, all the above, kidney transplant, we want to be there, and we want them to know that we are a presence in the community. So we're having this walk not only to raise funds, but to let the community know that we are present in the community, and we're here for you. So that's another thing we're doing in 2023. I just wanted to throw that in really quickly.
Awesome. Definitely appreciate that, Mr. Trevor. That actually kind of segues my very last question for this evening, which is, what's the number one feel-good moment that you, Jonathan, have had since joining Kidney Solutions, and you, Uncle Jim and Kent, from when you started Kidney Solutions? What's that number one moment where you just like, yeah, this is definitely worth it?
I would say when. Oh, go ahead, Jim. Sorry.
I'm sorry, John. It'll be short, buddy. Don't worry.
You're fine.
Anytime one of our folks gets a kidney transplant, I feel like I could jump up and touch the 12-foot ceiling of my apartment. Those are the best times. And those are the times that I take to heart and I remember. And it's a reminder to me of why I'm a kidney advocate for that group. See, John, short.
You're fine, Jim.
Something else.
Jim, I got to reiterate what you're saying, because Ken will put us in on a group text and he'll say, so and so from our list just got word they're getting a transplant, and so it really is a great feeling to know that you were a part, and you played a small part in that role of sharing or mentoring or talking with that patient or talking with them in the support group. So it is a really huge feel good moment knowing that they're going to have that opportunity.
I think to me the most is a fellow by the name of Barron. Barron's a school teacher, and I must say he's on me. We worked with him very closely for about a year. Had 3 donors that just didn't work out. All right. He never ever gave up. We worked. Matter of fact, we had a donor that called after he saw his flyer in the McDonald's or Whataburger or whatever at the pickup window that day on that. Heartbreaking thing for me. When I got a call from his wife, she told me he died. And I thought, too young. And this is why I do. He had every chance, but it didn't work out. 15 people a day die waiting for a kidney. Now that might not be joyful. That's where I'm coming from, and that's where I think most people would come from. Having someone that you've worked with, having their spouse call, and I want to thank you for all you did for him and for us.
Talk about Rocco, Ken. Tell him about Rocco.
Rocco, a single fella in New York City. Anyway, in New York, and he's working very diligently with us to get a kidney transplant in Florida, and he's been registered at Hackensack Hospital. I can't remember which one in New York. We worked with. So he came to this in the support group. He would always call. Shannon took care, to talk to him. Everybody, he was just like the guy that you'd go to. Well, we really felt good when we found out that he got transplanted in Hackensack. That's probably the biggest. Now, yeah, he got a deceased kidney, but where would he benefit us a kidney solution and being mentored to hang in there?
80 years old, Philip. This guy's 80 years old.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I remember when you guys made the announcement during this program. I remember he hopped in, I think, last week as well. But yeah, no, definitely a powerful story in Rocco's situation, anybody's situation really. And that's the reason why we do this show really is because, like Tafaro said, you can line up 20 kidney transplant recipients, but you'll get a different story every time. And everybody's story is powerful and unique in its own different way. And like I said, we may all end up at the same destination, but we all took different trips, streets and avenues to get there. So, and again, that's to just hear everybody's different stories, and how they got to what I call success kidney transplant, because that's the end goal at the end of the day, is to get that transplant and continue to living your life. No matter, kind of, I say no matter how you get it, but at the same time, it's personal at the same time, because for some of us die for us to get that gift. Which is
That's
why,
right.
which is why we're opening our support group to donors and donor families as well, because them, as much as we do transplant recipients, need that love and support, because they unfortunately had to lose someone for us as recipients to gain life. So, I'll real quick, before we get over here, I'm going to leave you all with the quote before I come back and get all your socials and stuff. But failure isn't fatal, but failure to change might be. So your decision to not change can be very much detrimental to your health and your life, than to make that adjustment where you need it to be, and to be able to succeed and extend life. Because not extension of it can very be to you and mean that your life could end if you don't make that decision to change nutritionally or make that change physically with physical activities or whatever it is that you need to make a change with. So, with that being said, I'm gonna let people know how to get in touch with you, your socials, your websites, all that, and then we'll wrap it up. We'll go ahead and start with you, Mr. Traylor.
I'm Jonathan Traylor, so if you don't already know me, I'm Hope with Jonathan. But right now we're focused on kidney solutions, so you can find us at kidneysolutions.org. And so again, I'm Jonathan Traylor. So you just look me up on social media, you'll pretty much find me. Hope with Jonathan. Uncle Jim.
Yeah.
I'm Jim Myers. I'm your local social media freak. I love sharing stories about people and their kidney issues, and I love sharing stories about the people of Kidney Solutions. Just awesome stuff, and it's an awesome way to spend my life.
I don't know what happened here.
You're on.
You're good, Kent. We can hear you.
He's asking for your closing remarks, Kent.
Yeah. So, or closing remarks. If you have anything you want to tell the kidney community, transplant community, or let them know how to get in touch with you, rules, website, all that stuff. When he comes back.
Uh-oh. His wife must be telling him it's dinner time.
He's like, oh, gotta go. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and we'll drop those in the description, gentlemen. If you don't mind sending me all those that you just mentioned here, also your personals as well, with the other separate things that you do, also kidney stories too, all that good stuff, emails, websites,
Yep.
all that stuff, and also kidney solutions, socials and emails and websites and how to get in touch with yourselves through kidney solutions as well as Kent also. Real quick, I'll go ahead and leave these here. This is really quick. Oh, Kent, there you go. Real quick, go ahead and let people know how they can find your email, your website, all that stuff.
Kidney Solutions, one word, kidneysolutions.org. Area code 830-285-2140. And my email is my name, kent.bressler at kidneysolutions.org.
Awesome.
And I appreciate everything you did for
Like I
us
told.
today.
Oh, it's no problem at all, gentlemen. I appreciate what you all do for the kidney community. And what I like to say really is just the transplant community in general. I mean, like you said, it's not a competition. I consider this as a family. So, any way that I can help, and like I tell Jonathan all the time, he's a big reason why a Second Chance has gotten this far, just with his help and his support in general. I appreciate that guy right there. Again, like I told them, if you could, send me after we get done here, email everything that you just dropped there, your email and your number and everything like that, and I'll put it in the description after we get done here. And so if you're watching maybe on LinkedIn or somewhere, or you're maybe watching from Hope with Jonathan or Kidney Stories, our Instagram is also there. And then here's also our Facebook and website. Also, so again, Joe, very much for joining us this evening. And definitely look out. I'll be on Uncle Jim's show next month. I believe the 17th or something like that.
Correct. Oh boy, are we going to have fun?
Yeah. So definitely looking forward to that interview. Also, it's always great talking to Uncle Jim, no matter what the circumstances are. So Again, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you all next Wednesday, same place, same time. God bless.
God bless.
See ya.